What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to discuss SQQQ, and I just want to give you my thesis on it and what I'm seeing, because I think we have a potential buying opportunity here. First, I'm going to break it down on the Webull chart, and then I'll break it down on the Fidelity chart as well, just to compare some things. So going to the Webull chart on SQQ, you can see we have our supply zone and we have our demand zone. For those that are not aware, SQQ is the inverse relationship of the NASDAQ. So if the NASDAQ goes up, SQQ goes down. If SQQ goes down, the NASDAQ is going up. So it's just inverse. It does the opposite of whatever the NASDAQ does. So I drew out this is like a 1 year chart, and you can see from August all the way down to May. I just drew some trend lines just to show that the pattern has changed, and the same is happening here. But now we're into this heavy demand zone, which is in this $30 range. Anywhere from $28 to like $33 is a gigantic demand zone. And I think we're going to see a nice bounce here in SQQ. I'm hoping, because I'm taking a position starting around $33, and I'm gonna pretty much try to hold until like 50. I think we can potentially get until at least $48, $49. Now, jumping into just QQQ, just to show you it real quick. This is QQQ. Let me just show you really quick as I zoomed here. This is QQQ, which is the NASDAQ. And you can see on just a 3-month chart, the low is the supply over here, which is going to be the 260 range. And the QQQ is running into the supply zone of 313. Now, if QQQ can break 313 and make its run for 334, then that's going to make SQQ go below this range of $33. It's going to make SQQ probably dip all the way down to the $28 range. So this is something you want to keep in mind when buying this, that there is risk with this, obviously, and SQQ does pull back. But I just want to go into where I'm looking to make my entry, because I'm seeing that we have trends here that clearly have been broken. And focusing on just this part right here, it appears that SQQ is actually getting some buying now. So if you look here in the demand zone, we are getting heavy volume right here coming in. And the RSI is at 34 right here. So 34 RSI on a 1-year chart. And I just believe if you look at just the range that we have to go from here all the way up, even if we can get to like, let's say the 50, that's a 42% gain. And even if you're not if you're just trying to get up to this range right here, you still have a 20% move. So there's potential for if you look at just where the resistance line would be, or just where a next zone could potentially be, it could be right here. Just from here to here, this point would be about 20%, which is a huge move. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here if you just follow a stop loss and you can get right there and get to the 20% mark. So this is what I'm looking to make my entry around $33, buy a couple hundred shares. If the QQQ breaks this supply zone and it can actually push through and get through here, this 313, 315 spot, and make its move for up to this resistance line, I'll just draw it out in a big rectangle so you can see it. If it can get to this, if it can get to break through that supply and then get to this supply zone, that is going to be ultimate shorting territory. So this is a potential where if it does break through and it gets to this zone, for me, this is definitely a good spot to definitely be trading SQQ, because that would mean that we are going all the way back to these lows, which were in, let's see here, April 5th. So April 1st, where it was at $31. And that would be your highs of when QQQ was up here at 334, 335, and you're going to have the bears coming in. So a few factors that I'm just thinking about is just that the RSI is so low. And even if you compare it on the Fidelity chart on the 1 year, the RSI right here. So you can see it here. There's a nice green volume bar forming here because this is a demand zone right here. And even if you want to draw it right here, let me see if there's a rectangle on this one. I always use Weeble to just draw everything out because it's just much cleaner. But you can see right here, there is a demand zone in this area. So here's your demand right here in this zone where there's potential buying coming up. So it's definitely something to be looking into for a nice bounce play. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit because this is too zoomed out. And so you had heavy selling in this last month. And you can see the volume right here. But right here, the buying is it's like almost equal, 174 million, and they have 165 million buying. So there's a lot of people believing that this is going to make a nice bounce for SQQ. Now you got to remember this always comes at risk, so you always have to be careful, but it's definitely something to pay attention to. So that's where I'm looking for SQQ, where we could have a potential move here. But yes, I'm building a position around $32, $33 with the worst case scenario of having to buy more at $28, which is right here. All right, so there's one more thing I wanted to show you that's making me believe that this is a good buy. So I'm gonna get rid of some of the indicators. I'm gonna show you one more. So RSI we see is already at 39. I'm gonna get rid of this. This is on the 6-month chart. We're gonna get rid of the MACD because I want this chart to be bigger so you can see the price action. And let's get rid of the volume as well. So the other factor that I like to look at, and let's get rid of this demand zone too if we can. So now I go to settings. I go to show price volume distribution, which is going to show how many buyers at certain points. And look how heavy the volume is coming in this demand zone. So people were buying at this 37 range because the blue lines, you can see them, are super high, and this is more average volume coming in. So you had 1106 point, so it's 1106 million at the 37.49 range. And then look right here in this average right here. Let's see if I can bring this down a little bit. Let's bring that lower. Let's just get that out of the way. And right here you have 668 million already forming. When we go to 10-day on this, you could see that, look, 174 million buying in between 33.75 and 34.24. And then you had another 165 million buying here. So this was a big buy zone up here at 37.74. And then now more buyers are coming in at 34.24. So this is just another thing I like to look at to see, is my zones that I'm pricing in actually making sense? And there's a lot of action coming in right in that area. Now look, SQQ comes with its risks. So even though I have the 2-day chart on the 60-minute, look how heavy this volume is at this 34.48 range. There is a ton of volume, 52 million in the last 2 days. So as you can see, if you bought up here, your bag holding from 37, but look at the price volume distribution coming in right here at this 34 to like that 34 mid range. There's a ton of buyers here. So this is creating some sort of support. I don't know if maybe the big dogs just stopped out people, but this looks like a very nice area to start building a position. Clearly, you always got to follow a stop loss, but this is what my thoughts are. You let me know what it is for you guys in the comments section below. But I'm hoping that we can get a nice bump from here, and shorting the market, especially before Powell speaks on Wednesday. Maybe we can get a nice run up from even like $35 back up to like $45, make it like 30%. So we'll see. It's definitely ranged out there. You don't have to try to, go all in, but it's definitely potentially worth some shares to be against the market, just in case with everything going on, the banks starts to explode even more and everything implodes. So for me, I think it's a nice spot to start entering a short position. But always remember that SQQ has decay, so things can go south quick. But that's what I'm looking at. I just wanted to refresh my SQQQ because I love playing them as well. The TQs, the SQs, and just the overall QQQ.